Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam.
Hi everyone, Namaste. We continue our webinar, satsang. So I'm receiving new questions. The next question is about intuition. Okay, spirituality, our spiritual progress, our just life and intuition. How can we recognize, how can we trust, and how can we follow our intuition? Well, actually I don't think that this is the right and proper to follow only intuition. We need logic as well. Because what does mean intuition? Okay, quite often people speak about intuition, but really it's a kind of, clairvoyance actually. Because when we speak about clairvoyance, it's something huge, something great, and we think that only great saints, Christian saints, Buddhist, Hindu saints, they can have this ability to be, clairvoyant. But, because I am practicing Kriya Yoga and I teach Kriya Yoga meditation, and my guru, Kriya Yoga Guru Yogi Rama, his approach was that each and every human being basically has this, this clairvoyance. There is no clairvoyant human being. If sometimes we may notice that even cats and doggies can read your thoughts, and then of course all human beings are clairvoyant. And the same, by the way, is the situation with Kundalini. This special energy in the spine, and to awake Kundalini is stupid because it's awakened in each and every human being. But the question is your Kundalini powerful enough, or do you know what to do with your Kundalini? Can you transform it into your life purpose, or can you transform it into meditation and self-inquiry, or you just stay with this Kundalini without any knowledge what to do with this? The same actually clairvoyance. Each and every human being is clairvoyant. But the question is level of this clairvoyance, and mostly people are just on the basic level. And because I spent most of my life in India in different ashrams, I met really hundreds of people who told me that they are clairvoyant. But the point is they are not. The real clairvoyant was Satya Sai Baba. And apart from that, I met maybe a few other clairvoyant people, but all that crowd of nice boys and girls of different age, they are not clairvoyant. They just in a state of complete illusion. When they speak about clairvoyance, they're ready to speak about past life, angels. This is vibration like this, that is like that. But if you wish to check them and ask some simple question, I have a bag next to me. Can you tell what is inside the bag? Or for example, behind me is one more room. Suppose you don't know what is there. Can you tell me what is exactly in that room? And when you ask very clear questions like, can you tell me what's happened with me yesterday, afternoon? And then all that clear questions, and then they don't know what to say. And that's the end of clairvoyance. And normally they are very angry because they believe that they are clairvoyant, but when I start to ask these simple questions, not about past life, not about message from I mean angels, but very clear things, then no clairvoyance. So actually when we speak about intuition, basically it's a simple way how to describe basically clairvoyance. And each and every human being, okay, he or she may experience intuition. It means that's some basic level of clairvoyance. And different gurus of Kriya Yoga tradition, for example, Yogananda, he mentioned that just that back side of the head we have a special energy channel through which we may receive messages from masters, from angels, from, okay, if you wish, from Lord God himself. But the question is, how can we really recognize it and trust it, and is this channel is strong enough? And okay, basic approach for me is that the better to use, yeah, intuition, that's wonderful, but you know, it's very important to use logic as well. Again, let us come to the spiritual,
Logic without intuition can be blind.
Yeah,
we need both. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to use only intuition, that's huge mistake, because you know no one is perfectly clairvoyant. It means if you just use your intuition, it will be a huge mess in your life, because you will feel this, and then it's like, for example, you wish to manage your financial investment, and if you will just base it only on intuition, that's hugely dangerous. You have to use your logic. You have to use your logic before you invest your money. That's a simple example, but still the important.
Yeah, but if we use only logic, that's also not so good.
Yeah, absolutely. If only logic, not possible to survive. Only intuition, also not possible. Because there are many situations when logic can't help. And there are many situations when intuition is not perfect. Then we have to use both, and that's the perfect way. We can take as example, Adi Shankaracharya, great ancient Vedic sage, and actually we don't know when exactly he lived, because according to the tradition maybe 7th or 8th century AD, but you know the information is that his duration of his life was something like more than 1,000 years. Okay, anyway, Adi Shankaracharya was absolutely logical, but at the same time he is a great example of intuition. Take Buddhist masters, including Padmasambhava, great Indian mystic who brought the Buddhist tradition, Tantric Buddhist tradition, into land of snow, Tibet. He was absolutely logical guy, but at the same time intuition was huge. So the great examples like both intuition and logic. And by the way, Jesus the Christ, you just read classical Gospels, and a lot of logic is there, but at the same time his intuition, his clairvoyance. Of course, Jesus was perfectly clairvoyant. Let us not to compare our ability with his, but at the same time, anyway, it's an example of good logic and good intuition. And we have to trust to intuition. To trust to intuition means to trust yourself. So anyway, we have to start with the simple question: what kind of relationship I have with myself? That's the most fundamental question. Am I hate myself? Am I ready to respect myself? What is the romance between me and me? Inside myself. And if you respect yourself, if you're in peace with yourself, then naturally you will follow your intuition. But best choice to to combine intuition with the logic. And one of the very very important topic for me is buddhi. Buddhi, which is in Sanskrit, means intellect. And the Vedic approach to the intellect is unity between logic and intuition, and then perfect intellect, buddhi. Because in the Western tradition, in the Western culture, we speak about buddhi or intellect perfectly as the rational, logical stuff, capacity. But in the Vedic tradition, buddhi means unity of logic and intuition. Then that is the perfect functioning. Okay, if we try to analyze any philosophical questions. Okay, you can say that's logical, that's we have to use, and also it can be your intuition. But okay, in family life, business, financial questions, your creative projects, everywhere, you know, your self-inquiry, your bank account, doesn't matter, spirituality or your real estate questions, logic plus intuition. And increase, of course, in intuition, just a moment, yeah, you have to trust yourself, then naturally you will trust your intuition. What is the next?
In which forms intuition can appear to us, in form of thoughts, feelings, or anything else?
Okay, so basically it's a personal, but mostly I may say, okay, for somebody it can be just visual images. For somebody it's a feeling, nice, bad, worry, happiness. For somebody it can be even voice. I'm not joking, but your angel protector can speak with you, and some people just hear the voice. And actually normally I never hear the voice, but few times in my life it's happened that it was perfectly voice, clearly voice. And I believe that so angel protector was speaking to me, conveying a certain important message, like go there, not to go there, do like this, do not do like that. And it was voice, so it means feeling, voice, pictures, and yeah.
How to recognize from which source intuition comes? I mean, how to recognize, is it intuition or is it just our thought or just our feeling? You know, what is intuition, what is feeling?
Okay, better to put this question in such a way, like where is the intuition, where is the game of the mind? Maybe like that. But I may say experience. You know, if you want to be better driver, you have to drive every day, and in a few years you'll be good driver. If you wish to practice Hatha Yoga properly, just practice it for a few years and you'll be good Hatha Yoga practitioner. And if you just pay attention to the question of intuition, then I'm not going to say that tomorrow, but in a few months or in a few years you will be experienced. But you know, because the problem is that mostly people do not pay attention to the question. But if people will pay attention to the question of intuition, then naturally, step by step, you can learn it. And basically very important, like key tool to recognize is your, if some idea comes to you, or any like a subtle message, and if you feel in like peace and clarity, then go and do this, and that's the perfect choice. And of course sometimes, you know, 5 or 10 years later you can understand that that was wrong choice, but then you have to understand that in that very moment that was the best one. And you never know what could happen if you choose other way. You know, so you can, you know, start business, start education, start family, and you feel peace, happiness. Then in 5 years you understand that was wrong decision. But be careful to call it wrong decision, because you never know if you, what could happen if you will if you didn't do this. That's a tricky stuff. But anyway, peace and joy, that's the best indication that, okay, your intuition is right, and this is really intuition and not logic. And if you, not a game of the mind, let us call it in such a way, and if you feel some inner conflict, some slightly worry, that's not intuition, that's the message from tricky mind.